The Victoria Theatre. Before we begin tonight's performance, I would like to personally acknowledge our wonderful orchestra, Ten Strike, and I would also like to ask you to join me in thanking our generous corporate sponsor, Bank One of Dayton. Thank you. And here now, as part of the Second American Tour, the management of the theater is proud to present the great English novelist, Mr. Charles Dickens.
Good evening. Tonight, I would like to read what has proved to be one of my most popular tales. It was first published in my Christmas book for the year 1843. A Christmas Carol. Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, for nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate. There was no doubt whatever about Marley. The register of his burial had been signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Oh, my. Now, I don't mean to say that I know what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been inclined to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade, but the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and these unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country is done for. You will therefore permit me to repeat most emphatically that old Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course he did. Scrooge and he were partners for years. Scrooge was his sole executor, sole administrator, sole friend, and sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event, but that he was an excellent man of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it by concluding a favorable contract. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterwards, above the door. Sometimes people new to the business would call Scrooge Scrooge, and sometimes Marley. But he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. On the day in question, of all the good days of the year, on a Christmas Eve, it was cold, bleak, biting weather. The fog came pouring in at every chink and keyhole. It was late, and candles appeared in the windows of offices like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown air.
Now, if you don't behave yourselves, Mr. Scrooge will get you while you're sleeping.
Keep your distance, keep your distance. I've no money for homeless beggars. Drunken sot.
Meanwhile, the fog and darkness thickened. The nearby ancient tower of a church became invisible. It struck the quarters and hours up in the clouds with tremulous vibrations afterwards, as if its teeth were chattering in its frozen head up there. The cold became intense.
Never seen such an evil fog. Let them try to keep Christmas in this weather.
Scrooge ate his melancholy dinner at his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled himself with the figures in his bank account book, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had belonged to his deceased partner, a gloomy suite of rooms in a gloomy building.
Stop that! Let go of that! God with you!
Darkness is cheap. Scrooge liked it.
Mr. Scrooge!
The fog and frost hung thick about the old black threshold, where there was a large door knocker. And now, let any man explain to me, if he can, how this happened.
Marley? Jacob Marley? Marley, is it you?
Ah, what a dismal old house it was. Lost in a hidden yard where it had so little business to be. One could imagine that it might have strayed there when it was a young house and never found the way out. Nobody lived in it but Scrooge. All the other rooms had been let as offices, black and silent at this hour. Yet up the dark staircase Scrooge went, not caring a button about the gloom. But before he shut the heavy door leading to his chambers, he carefully searched through all his rooms to make sure all was well. He had just enough recollection of Marley's face upon the door knocker to do that.
Shameful to be rattled by a lot of humbug from the stomach. Did I bolt that door? Double locked. All secure. Nice bowl of gruel. That'll settle things down. were mighty particular for a ghost. It's all right. Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
I don't believe it! Humbug, I tell you, a lot of humbug.
Why do you doubt your own senses?
Oh, because a very little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach can make them play tricks. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a fragment of underdone potato, a crumb of cheese. Why, there's more of gravy than of grave in you, whatever you are. Why do you torment me?
Do you or do you not believe in me?
Yes, I do. I guess I must. Yes. Can you sit?
I can.
Well, do it then. Now, please explain. Why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every human being that the spirit within him must walk abroad among his fellow men, travel far and wide. If that spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. Doomed to wander through the world and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turned to happiness.
But you're chained. Why?
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it link by link, and yard by yard. I put it on and wore it of my own free will. Is the design so strange to you? You wear the same chains.
I? Chains? Where? Where? Jacob, explain. I don't understand. Speak comfort to me.
I have no comfort for you, Ebenezer Scrooge. That comes from other regions. Or can I tell you everything I might? A little more is all that's left to me. I can't stay. I can't rest. I can't linger anywhere, because in life, my spirit never moved beyond our counting house. Mark me! In life, my spirit never strayed beyond the narrow limits of a money-changing hole. And so many more weary journeys lie ahead for me.
7 years, dead and traveling all this time.
No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse.
But why remorse? You were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business.
Yes.
Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings means of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my bitterness. I failed to learn that lesson. At this time of year I suffer most. Christmas time? Yes. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned away? I am here tonight to warn you that you still have a chance and hope to escape my fate. A chance and hope that I have arranged, Ebenezer.
Oh, Jacob, you were always a good friend to me. Thank you, thank you.
Tonight, you will be haunted by 3 spirits.
I can always count on you. Haunted?
Haunted?
Is that the chance and hope you're offering me?
It is.
I'd rather not.
Hear me! My time is almost come. Without these visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first spirit when the bell tolls 1.
Can't I take them all at once and get it over with?
Expect the second when the bell strikes 2. And the last when the bell tolls 3.
Jacob, please don't leave. Tell me more.
Good night, Ebenezer Scrooge. Look to see me no more.
Save yourself! If you can!